what we're gonna do here is we're not gonna talk about any of that stuff, because one thing that everyone fails to understand is that the best thing that you can do as a leader is just shut up and listen and ask questions. You don't and should not be talking to people and telling them what to do. This is probably the worst thing that a leader can do. So I've been sitting with this for the longest time, and I've been implementing this in every single situation that I can possibly think of. And especially in the realm of business, when leading a company on the C-level side of things, but also just general management, I talk about this all the time. And it's something that I constantly practice because it's a mechanism that allows me to actually empower people. And I think if you really think about it on a large scale, how come some people just manage to build such big things and manage to attract such great talent, and most importantly, create an environment for this talent to grow? Now, I'm going to share with you the method that I, to this day, still swear by as one of the most effective methods to lead a company and also learn a lot in the process. And it comes down to a few things, which when you work with really smart people, you obviously can't really fool them. So the first thing that you really always want to work on in your career is your own knowledge. And why is this so important? It's because your own knowledge sets the baseline of to what extent you can think. So say we're dealing with any problem, right? It could even be a personal problem, nothing related to business. And the reason why I'm saying personal is because I want you to really understand how powerful this method is and how I use it in literally every single scenario that I can possibly think of. And when I have a problem, may that be creating a video like this, my knowledge of knowing how to do this will set the baseline, so I can, pick up the camera, script something, I know how to edit. It's like all these things that I know how to do and what I think is the absolute bare minimum. And something that you should try and do throughout your career is always get more knowledge, because it allows you to raise this baseline of knowing and setting a direction. Now, what is going to happen when you work with people and you start to have a team, and you're not going to do a lot of the work yourself and more so drive direction? How can you really empower someone instead of just telling them hey, you need to do this, you need to do this? And this is the difference between finding someone really good versus just creating an extend of yourself. So the second thing is, you want to have smart people, and you're going to have to challenge them. Now, how does this work? Is when you keep this baseline of knowing how to solve this problem. So we have, say, the outcome here, right? We know what we want to do. So in this case, that would be, say, distributing my content at scale. That's the outcome. Now, there's a gap between the idea right here. This is where we are now, and then we have a gap to get to this outcome. Now, say I've got one person here that I know, can help me. They're smart, they're capable, and how do we find out that this person is the right person and that they're actually smart or capable? And you do that by challenging really smart people, and most importantly, empowering them. So this gap from taking an idea into actual reality is we're going to use this baseline of knowledge that we know how to do this. So that in this case of setting up some sort of a distribution, it would probably, you connect all the accounts. So you connect Instagram, you connect TikTok, you connect Twitter, whatever that may be. You use their API. You probably spin up something with Claude Code to connect all of that, create a dashboard. That's how far my knowledge goes. So what we're gonna do here is we're not gonna talk about any of that stuff, because one thing that everyone fails to understand is that the best thing that you can do as a leader is just shut up and listen and ask questions. You don't and should not be talking to people and telling them what to do. This is probably the worst thing that a leader can do. You really have to like let that sink in as someone who's got over 100 people working for them, and I just listen. I sit there and I challenge them and I question them, and behind the scenes I am constantly working on getting this actual knowledge baseline to go up by learning every day, and most importantly, having no ego about it, because usually the ones with the biggest ego are the ones that are always going to be like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. That is not like what this is. This is real empowerment. This is making people thrive. Now, how do we do that, and what does that look like? So when we have, you know, the method that we think, so we've got this method here that we think is how to get to this outcome. When you take that method, like I said, you know, we've got these APIs, we're gonna spin up Claude Code and whatever. I'm gonna write all of these things down. So we've got option A, option B, step C, step D, whatever, like all of these steps, right, that I think we should take. Now, what you're gonna do then is you're gonna take all of those steps and you're gonna write questions that could potentially lead to that outcome. So when I say, how are we going to distribute across all these different platforms at scale, 500 posts a day, whatever that may be? That is the question. I know, or at least within my knowledge, I would probably use the API, whatever. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna ask a question and you're gonna fish for this outcome. So you're gonna ask this person here all of these questions that could potentially lead to these outcomes. And this is where the magic happens. And I've been thinking about this so much, and I actually gave it a name. And the name is outcome-driven questions, where you don't expose the outcome. You just ask questions that could potentially lead to what you think is the right thing. And this is where the magic happens, as I was saying just now. When this outcome, like this step, this action is what I think, or within my baseline of knowledge, is the right thing to get to that outcome. Now, when I ask this person this question, there's a chance that they potentially may come up with something better. They're either gonna like, you know, this is you, this is like the outcome that you have in mind. So this is like your idea. Excuse my really ugly light bulb. This is your idea, this is your baseline. Now there's a good chance, and especially with really good people, what's gonna happen is they're gonna come up with something better. And the cool thing about this is that you use this idea that you have, or like how to use it, to challenge someone and fish for what you potentially think is the right step, to give them space and room to come up with something better. So what happens here is they're either gonna land, you know, below what you think is the right thing, which is, you know, again, room for potential improvement, and, you know, also like an honest look at like, oh, you know, am I not wrong? You know, am I maybe just, you know, is this actually like up here? But that obviously just comes down to like knowledge and logic. But in this case, it's either not the right person and you want to give them a shot to grow, so you're going to teach them on how to get here to like this part right here, or you're just not going to work with them. Now, the beauty about this frame of mind and this method is that when someone either comes up with, say, something similar of what you think we need to do, there's also a chance that they're going to come up with something much better than what you came up with. And in either scenario, this is that person's idea. This is them coming up with this. And this is why I'm such a big fan of this method, because you are genuinely empowering someone and also challenging yourself, as well as the smart person on the other end, to do better. And the baseline is set by your own knowledge, which also again comes down to being a good leader and constantly learning and being curious about what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're building, and how knowledgeable you are on that subject. And this is just, again, like, it's been in my head for the last couple months, and I've just been, you know, teaching this to my own management and now to you guys, and it's just such a beautiful framework. And I wanted to come on here and share this with you because you can really apply this to pretty much everything, like any business problem, any I'd say place where you're dealing with people. So how do you actually implement this? As I said just now, the only thing that you have to do is just write down all of these actions. So we've got all of these actions that we write down that we think are going to take us slower towards that goal. And the only thing that you have to do is just, and you can even just drop this into Claude or whatever, just ask these questions that could potentially lead here. And that's really the only thing that you do. So I use this in interviews, I use this in management syncs, I use this when we want to tackle like a big problem. I just think about these questions that could then, you know, tell that person to just like lead me to the outcome in probably a better way. And you'll see that really good people, and I speak from experience, this is probably the best feeling ever when you find someone who can just crush and raise the standard for what you considered as your baseline. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll be posting a lot more of these raw, unfiltered, easy things on this channel. If there's anything that you'd like me to talk about, just drop it in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share this with whoever this is relevant. I want you to keep in mind that this is something that you can apply as a leader, as in like you founded a business, but also as a team member of a business. In the end of the day, I've seen people work their way up to becoming partners and equals with those that founded business. I've also seen people drop off significantly because of having too big of an ego and constantly trying to boss everyone around and telling everyone this is the right way, and leading out of a place of insecurity and thinking that they're superior without really giving the room and space to empower people. And in the long run, this is going to allow you to get to the point where I now have time to talk about these things because I run a company with north of 100 people that own what it is that they do, and they're doing it in a way where I'm just constantly challenging them and driving direction and probably just, you know, challenging their beliefs and everything a lot, while on the back end I'm just like growing myself to keep doing that, you know. And also, if you enjoyed this, make sure that you sign up for the below email list. I'll be sharing a lot more details as well as events online and in person. Don't worry, I'm not going to charge anything for this. This is something that I really enjoy doing and I want to give back, and this is actually the plan for me in the coming 6 months, is to document as much as I can while I myself work on figuring out my next steps and a potential new business. So awesome. Thanks, guys.